When you beat a higher rated chess player, that's cause for excitement. But when you defeat a higher rated chess player that's completely out of your league, oh man, you'll be completely excited about that. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a game against a 2500 that I played, of course, in which I didn't win, but I wound up drawing this person. So I'm very proud of this game. I played it approximately around 8 months ago, and I'm just revisiting this game now with you guys. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy it, and let's get right into it. So you'll be seeing me edit the video on the fly. Let's see here. Okay, I think that'll be pretty good. Most of the details about the game are covered with my image. And here's the board. Here's my face. I think we can get right into it. So in this game, my opponent played e4, simple standard move. I played e6. My opponent played d6, expecting a French defense. However, by the second move, I surprised my opponent with b6. This is a good move because I'm threatening. Well, I'm not threatening anything, but it simply gets my opponent out of their comfort zone. I also want to add on that this is a 10-minute game. I didn't mention that in the beginning, but just more added details so you guys understand what's happening here. So my plan is, of course, to bring my bishop to the diagonal, and a lot of variations I will win upon. However, since my opponent is 2500 and I'm 1800, I won't be doing much winning of pawns in this game. So my opponent played g3. So this gets him ready to fight against the long diagonal as well. It's a very principled approach. He's very strong, so he knows these ideas already. I bring my bishop, he brings his bishop. So now we're having a back and forth battle over the light square diagonal. So I play f5, and basically I'm saying if you take me, I'm going to take your bishop. So there's lots of tactics already being created. My opponent defends the e4 pawn. I put more pressure against it. He blocks his bishop. So I'm like, okay, it's time to take. And that was the best move according to the computer. So my opponent hops his knight out, opening up the bishop, and he's putting massive pressure on this pawn, threatening to take it. So I played a move in which I thought was the best at the time. Looking back on it, it may not have been the best option, and it allowed my opponent to get easy advantage. D5. And if you're a strong chess player, you probably see the error in this move right here. If you're not, I'm just going to show you. Behold, knight takes e6. And now my bishop and queen are under attack. And the c7 pawn is under attack. So if I'm not careful, I can get forward. So I bring my queen to the center of the board, lining up with his king. And you have to be careful trying to create attacks on your opponent when you haven't castled out of the center of the board. So my opponent paid for that. After he took my bishop, I took with check, and he can't block with his queen because he'll lose it. So my opponent slides out the way. And again, I play the best move. I capture the pawn. In a lot of cases, this is a bad move because it doesn't normally do anything. But in this case, it opens up my bishop, it opens up my queen, and it distracts the queen from the defense of the king. So my opponent takes, and I'm eager. I hit my opponent with a check. Apparently, that wasn't the best move. The computer liked just capturing the knight and then building up this attack here with the bishop, with the knight, pressure against the pawn with the rook, and then I can hop my knight out one of two ways. So instead of that, I gave my opponent a check immediately because after my opponent slides over, I got excited and I thought this was checkmate immediately. It wasn't. My opponent blocked. Now, my opponent thought for about 4 seconds here and blocked, but if they actually decided to block with the bishop, that would have been a huge mistake because basically I can just hop my knight into the center uh, like this. And I'm winning because I'm threatening checkmate. And if my opponent takes, well, that's game over. And I'm sure you're probably wondering why not hop my knight in here. Um, I believe my knight f3. If I believe my opponent would have found this, and it's just a very strong move. However, that's also checkmate. So bloopers, right? You're saying this on the fly. I currently don't have the engine up, but I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with this move. I'm not sure what it is. I'm assuming bringing the queen out, defending the pawn, but then it becomes a skirmish in which I can take. So there's lots of tricks and tactics here. The computer didn't give me knight g4 when I was looking at it originally. Maybe I should have looked at this more before the video, but it keeps the video interesting. So my opponent blocked with the knight. He then blundered the advantage away, and now the position is equal according to the computer. So now I take the knight, my opponent takes the pawn. Apparently, it was better to move the rook out of the corner. Yeah, chess is hard because apparently now I can hop my knight in with this threat, right? With the queen, the rook, and the knight attack f2, and apparently it's undefendable even against a move like this. I believe the computer finds this sacrifice. So yeah, chess is, and if take, and if my opponent takes with the bishop, probably something like this. You guys can review this with the engine afterwards, but the computer didn't like this. It didn't believe in this defense by my opponent. So instead of moving the rook because I'm not 2,500 and my opponent clearly doesn't believe I'm a threat, he takes the pawn. However, he's lacking on his development. His king's in the corner. The rook's in the corner. It can't get out. The bishop can't stop defending the knight, and the knight is just stuck. So my opponent basically has like all of his pieces and they like on the back rank and they can't get into the game, right? So he's just fighting with the queen. So if I can negate the power of the queen, it's game over. So I believe the computer probably wanted me to get my knight into the game, and my opponent can't take this pawn because again, it would just be checkmate, right? So um just getting my pieces more active, getting them into the game, getting them ready to attack my opponent was the best move. In retrospect, a few months down the line after I've improved my chess ability, I see that now. However, back then I didn't see that. So I was like, okay, let's go for checkmate right away, right? My opponent defends and his rook is just gone. So I take it, right? Black is currently winning according to the engine, but I'm playing against a player who's 700 points higher rated than me, right? In a tournament. So I'm just trying not to lose. I'm excited. I'm winning. I'm trying to beat this guy, but I'm also trying not to lose, right? So my opponent goes here trying to create winning chances, winning checks against me, and I can bring my knight in. The computer also wanted take and against check. I'm not sure what it wanted. I think it wanted this, but I was afraid of this, right? And I was just afraid of checks in general. I just didn't want to lose. So I brought my rook. He still has this check, winning my knight. He checks me. I slide over, and I guess he didn't want the knight for some reason. Yeah. So my opponent gives me another check. I slide over. He gives me this check again. I slide. He gives me this check again, and I guess he was fine with the draw. Apparently, the computer believed I should have blocked, but I just slid back over, and it was perpetual check. A threefold repetition. I drew a 2,500, and normally this would be the end of the video, but in this case, I apparently had a winning continuation here. So after my opponent checked me, I'm supposed to slide over. After they check me, I'm supposed to block with the rook. If they give me this check, I block. If they continue to check me, apparently I'm supposed to slide my king into the corner. So yeah, I don't know where I'm supposed to get nerves of steel from in order to do something like this, but I just capture, bring my rook, and apparently if I found this continuation, my opponent wouldn't have been able to defend himself. But I was excited about just getting a winning advantage against a player just so high, so much higher rated than me in general. So I'm sure you can't blame me for getting perpetual check. Regardless, I got a result that I probably shouldn't have, and I ran away with to the bank with it, right? So it was a very interesting game. I hope you guys liked it, enjoyed my review of the game, and I'm hoping you guys look forward to more videos from me in the future.